Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Long Range Shooters of Utah. As you can see, we're at the beautiful North Springs shooting range here in Price, Utah. Highly recommend if you ever find yourself in our state, you take a full day, if not a couple of days, and come down here and check out this range. I promise you, you won't want to leave. It's an absolutely world-class facility. So now onto our topic of today's video. As you can see, I've got my 6.5-47 on the table, but I also have the Send It electronic bubble level from Long Range Arms up in Idaho. So we're going to talk a little bit more about the importance of having a bubble level and also why you would want to spend the extra money to have an electronic bubble level. So let's dive in and get started. All right guys, let's talk about why you need an electronic bubble level, or why you might want an electronic bubble level. So the primary reason, there's really two things. So one is the ability to see it more easily and not have to move your face to be able to see it. And the second thing is angle shooting. So if you're doing any hunting or you're competing in like a PRS type competition where you have high angle shots, then the spirit level, the typical traditional bubble level, loses its accuracy at about 20 degrees of angle. So that's a pretty extreme angle, but still anything beyond 20 degrees, that spirit level, because the cylinders aren't manufactured with an incredible amount of precision, that accuracy is going to go out of the window. So the neat thing about the Send It bubble level is it's actually calibrated on 12 different axes. So it's going to be a lot more accurate no matter what angle you're shooting at. The other really cool thing about this is when you set it up initially, you're going to basically put the spirit level. You can actually take the cap off and use this as your spirit level. You're going to put it on there, you're going to calibrate it. You actually move it, or you can calibrate it horizontally and vertically. That's really cool. So you can have it on your AR and have it vertical, and the colors will still read whether you are level side to side. So high angle shooting. If you're shooting high angle, getting electronic bubble level is definitely a good idea. The first point we made, being able to see it. So the neat thing about this is generally when I'm shooting, I'll get into my position, I'm looking through my optic, I'm thinking about my breathing, I'm thinking about following through on the trigger, I'm thinking about squeezing, I'm thinking about the wind, what my hold is, all that good stuff. And then I also, right before I squeeze off that shot, oh crap, I need to check my bubble level. So then I've got to typically move my face a little bit, or maybe with my non-dominant eye, look up and see that bubble level and try to adjust. The cool thing about the Send It is because it's got colored lights and you can adjust the brightness, you just have to look for that color in your peripheral vision. If it's blue, you need to go that way. If it's red, you need to go that way. If it's green, you send it. That's why they call it the Send It. So those are two huge advantages and why you might want to spend the extra money to have an electronic bubble level. So now let's go in and look at this up close. We'll talk a little bit about more of the specific features of the bubble level, and then we'll get out and do a little bit of shooting with it. All right, so let's come in close here and talk a little bit about some of the features of the Send It. So as you can see, it is mounted on the rifle with a Picatinny mount. So it mounts onto your Picatinny rail there. As you can see, I've got it up here on the Tikka. One of the kind of disadvantages I would say is it does kind of stick out quite a bit, a little bit more than other accessories you might have. It's not terrible, but it does stick out maybe another 3/4 of an inch from the side of my windage turret or parallax turret. So that's maybe one disadvantage. They are coming out with a top mount for a scope ring, or a proprietary scope ring, where this will be mounted right here up on top, and then it'll be even easier to see with your peripheral vision while you're on your optic. So once again, you're not having to move when you're in position. You can just see that color in your peripheral vision and know that you're level and good to go. So once again, Picatinny rail mount on the side, you've got a spirit level on the top. This has a twofold purpose. One is that it acts as a kind of backup, if you will, for the lights. It also, if I pop off the top, I can now use this to calibrate the Send It. So I can put it up here on top on my turret, and I can use it as I'm calibrating the Send It. Kind of a nice little feature. So when we turn on the Send It, it's going to also show us the level of battery that we have. So when we first turn it on, it's going to flash a few times. That's just it kind of checking, calibrating itself. And then for 2 seconds, it's going to hold a certain number of lights. If there are 2 lights, it means it has 20% battery left. If there are 3 lights, it's 60% battery, and 5 lights is 100% battery. Battery life on the Send It should be somewhere between 20 hours and 100 hours, depending on how bright you keep your lights and if you have sleep mode enabled. So after 10 minutes, it goes into sleep mode. If it's moved at all, if it feels any movement, it will then kick back on. So it kind of saves its own battery, which is pretty neat. So as you can see, as I tilt it, it's going to light up with different colors. If we're off to the left, the colors are going to be blue. If we're off to the right, they're going to be red. And if they're green, it means send it. So pretty sweet. So one of the cool kind of uses of this, I have a buddy here locally in Utah who's a very well-known precision rifle shooter and also an executive over at Desert Tech. He actually had an industrial accident where he lost one of his eyes. So when he saw this for the first time, he jumped on it. He called me out of the blue and was like, I need one of those. So I sent it out to him, and he's had great success with it. In fact, I believe he ordered a second one. The nice thing about it with having just one eye is he's still able to see that color in his peripheral vision, and he knows that he's level. Another thing, this also has 5 different levels of sensitivity. So you can go anywhere from 0.2 of a degree all the way to 1 degree. So 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, and also 1 degree of sensitivity. From the factory, it comes with 0.6 degrees of sensitivity. And I've actually found that to be quite sensitive, probably a little more sensitive than I would want, which is interesting because as I watch the spirit level, I'm like, oh, okay, right there's probably okay, but I'm not getting a green light. So it's kind of wild that you know, it's that much more sensitive than the typical spirit level. So it will help you shoot a little bit better, or that's the idea at least. You can also adjust the brightness. So as I turn this, if I'm shooting at dusk or dawn, it's going to be a little dimmer, and then I can also turn it up and make it nice and bright for full time right here in the day. So even in the bright sunlight, summer sunlight, I can still see those colors. So I think I've covered all the features here. Obviously, I also talked earlier about how you can mount it vertically as well and horizontally, which is a nice little thing. I'm really excited to get one of these on my AR because I can mount it on my Picatinny rail and have it be vertical, and then it doesn't stick out very far. So stay tuned for future videos where we're going to show you the proprietary mount that Long Range Arms comes out with for this level. I'm really excited to get it mounted up here close and also have it a little closer to the center line of the rifle and not sticking out quite so much. So these run $225. We're going to offer these at Long Range Shooters of Utah. I know that does sound a little spendy compared to a $25, $30, $40, $50 level from, say, Vortex like you saw in our other videos. But as I said, there are a lot of advantages of this for those that maybe have an injury, like my friend, that needs something that they can see in their peripheral vision even with just one eye. It's helpful. Also for those that maybe have poor eyesight, they're going to be able to see this a lot better. Also those that are shooting a lot of high angle hunting or precision rifle series type stuff, being able to have something that works at those great angles is also a nice plus. And overall, it's been a great unit, very robust. I'm really impressed with it thus far. So let's do some shooting with it. All right, so we've got a lot of technology here to film this shot. So we've got a GoPro over here, we've got the side shot. Look forward to the review on that. We're going to be offering those on our website as well. So cool. This basically allows me to film through my scope, and the cool thing about this is I can slide it off and I can slide it on another rifle and film from there with my iPhone, and then whoever's sitting over here on my side, they can actually see everything that I'm seeing as well. So we'll slide that back on there. We're using that to record what I'm seeing through the optic. So we've got our GoPro going, we've got this going. Let's get on target here. So what we're going to try to demonstrate is, like our video that you need to go watch about why you need an anti-cant bubble level on your rifle, we're going to show you why it's so important. So right now I've got a green dot. Hopefully the GoPro is picking it up. Spirit level is right in the center. We're going to go ahead and fire a shot at 1,000 yards. We're dialed at 7.7 mils. So we're going to shoot at this white IPSC target at 1,000. Don't have much wind right now. Bubble level's good. Impact. All right, so let's go ahead now and we're going to cant this, loosen our pod lock, Evo bipod. Now we've got 2 reds, so we're tilted to the left. I got a round in there. Tilted to the left. Gonna do the same hold. Over the left shoulder. Well over the left shoulder. Same load, same everything. Now let's loosen this up. Let's go full blue. Really hope the GoPro's picking this up. Okay, same hold. Barely over the right shoulder, right past his neck. So now let's take and go back to green. If you don't have a pod lock on your Harris bipod, or they come standard on these Evo bipods, highly recommend them. Make life a lot easier. So same hold. Ding, impact. So if you still don't think you need an anti-cant bubble level, or better yet, a Send It electronic anti-cant level on your rifle, you got something wrong with you, as we pretty much just proved it, clear as can be right there. In fact, I think my cameraman actually doesn't believe in those, now that I think about it. So now let's make it a little less severe. Let's go just one blue dot. So basically that means on a typical bubble level, so if I look at my spirit level on top, I'm showing, I got my 2 lines, my bubble's centered over one of the lines on the left. So that's not a whole lot of difference, but let's see if it causes a difference in our shot. So I got one bubble. Over the right hand shoulder. Do I really need to go back the other way and show you? I promise you it's going to do the same thing. Let's prove it. All those skeptical minds on YouTube, you know. So let's go barely red. Barely red. I think we got an impact on that one. That was pure friggin' luck though. All right, sometimes it works if you're barely off. But how would you know if you didn't have a Send It electronic bubble level or a spirit level on your rifle? So once again, review of the Send It bubble level. If you have any kind of problems with your eyes, this can be a good purchase. If you do a lot of high angle shooting, whether it be hunting or competition, definitely helpful. The spirit levels just don't cut it at high angle. Or if you just like a fancy, cool, new, cutting edge piece of long range tech, then check these guys out. Once again, we will be offering these on our website. They are $225. You're not gonna be able to find them for any cheaper than that anywhere. They're very strict about their pricing. But awesome little unit, very robust, built very, very well. That was the first thing that surprised me, because I was like, wow, this thing is really well thought out, very robust. That's one of the things that you might call into question, being its electronics, is it gonna stand up to being beat up? And thus far, it's worked very well. 100% made in the USA. In fact, he told me that even the electronics, they tried to source as much as they possibly could out of the US. Some of the stuff they just couldn't find at all, but like 80 or 90% of it is 100% made in the US, which is phenomenal. They do a lot of their own stuff. So, yep, so that's our review of the Send It bubble level, or Send It electronic anti-cant level from Long Range Arms. Go and check these guys out, and also check them out on our website. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Check us out on social media, especially Instagram and Facebook. Give us a like on both of those. That helps us out a lot. As you may know, the YouTube has cut a lot of ad revenue out of these YouTube channels. It's making it very tough for us to get out and make these reviews. It is very costly to come out and do these, both time-wise and financially, for all this equipment and camera equipment that often breaks down. So you can go on there and subscribe and help us out that way. We also have a Patreon account. So if you go to patreon.com/LRSU, you can donate to the cause as well, and keep us out here making these great reviews. So check these guys out. Thanks. So here we are at SHOT Show 2016. Got Todd McGee from Dead Air Armament.
Hi, I'm Kelly McMillan here.
We're gonna give it a shot right now.